Our next story is about a tiger and the dried persimmon. The tiger and the dried persimmon. Once upon a time, in a valley deep in the mountains, there lived a huge tiger. He always walked around boasting about his strength. "I dare anyone to try and match my strength," he would say. When the other animals of the mountain heard him, they all ran away. One winter, the snow piled up so high that it took the tiger 2 days to dig his way out of his cave. He was near starving when he crawled out of his cave to look for food, but the snow covered everything in sight. "Oh no," the tiger mumbled. "How can I find something to eat?" He kept getting stuck in the snow as he wandered around the mountain in search of food. Somehow, by the time darkness fell, he had reached the village, which lay at the foot of the mountain. He poked around until he found a quiet little barn by a farmhouse. A fat cow was sleeping inside, snoring loudly. "I think I'll have that cow," exclaimed the tiger. "I have always liked beef," he said, licking his chops. Just at that moment, the tiger heard a small child crying inside the house. "Ah, what's that noise?" thought the tiger. He sneaked up to the room where the child was crying. Inside the room, the child's mother was trying to make him stop crying. "Oh, look, there's a monster," she said. "You had better stop crying, or he'll come here and get you." But the child kept on crying. So this time the mother said, "There's a tiger outside. If you don't stop crying, he'll come and eat you up." She had not really seen the tiger. She was only trying to make the child stop crying. When the tiger heard this, he naturally thought that the mother had seen him looking at them. "How can she know I am here?" he wondered. "I should be more careful." Now the child was crying even louder, and this made the tiger angry. He didn't like the idea of a little child not being afraid of a tiger. The child cried and cried. Nothing could scare the child into silence. Finally, the mother tried something different. She reached into a cabinet and pulled out something for him. "Look, a dried persimmon," she said. The child immediately stopped crying and started to eating the persimmon. The tiger had heard all of this from outside the room and was very surprised. But he had not actually seen what the mother had given to the child. "A persimmon?" he thought. "A persimmon must be a very scary beast indeed, and it must be more powerful and frightening than I am. Since I didn't scare the child at all, I'd better leave here before the persimmon tries to eat me." The tiger walked very quietly back to the barn. He was only worried about being heard, as it was now completely dark and quiet outside. As he arrived at the barn, something big and black creeped through the door. The black shape walked right up to where the tiger was trying to hide and not be seen. It reached down to stroke the tiger's back. Then it said, "This one's really healthy and fat." The tiger was so scared that it couldn't move. The big black thing that the tiger thought was a persimmon was actually a cow thief. But it was so dark inside the bird that the thief couldn't see very well. He thought the furry tiger was the cow. The tiger didn't resist when the thief gently led him outside. Once outside the barn, the thief reached down and patted the tiger again. But this time he noticed that what he felt was not cow fur. When he looked closely and saw the tiger, he was so scared that he froze where he stood. The tiger, on the other hand, thought that the persimmon had gotten him for sure. He closed his eyes and believed he was on his last breath. The thief was so afraid to move, so he just stood still next to the tiger, hoping it wouldn't notice him. The tiger thought that the persimmon must have been distracted by something. He tried to jump free and run away. But when the thief felt the tiger start to move, he thought that the tiger was going to eat him alive. To save himself, he jumped into the tiger's back and held on for dear life. The frightened tiger jumped up and down and ran around in a circle, trying to throw the thief from his back. But this made the thief hold on all that much tighter. Next, the tiger took off, running wildly. Strong as a persimmon may be, it will surely fall if I run as fast as I can. The tiger ran with all of his strength. Even with the thief on his back, he was soon out of the village and near the base of his mountain. Up near the ridge of the mountain, it was just light enough for the thief to see a branch hanging over the path. He reached up and grabbed the branch. Lucky for him, the tiger ran out from beneath him. The tiger was so scared of the persimmon that he kept running and didn't look back. At first, he didn't even know that the thief was gone. He was too tired and frightened to notice. Eventually, he noticed that his back felt lighter, so he stopped running and heaved a great sigh of relief. "Oh," he sighed. "That was close. Today I was nearly eaten by a persimmon." The end. Yeah, it's funny. Thank you for coming today. I'm very glad to hear that you enjoyed my stories. Yay!